Hey there, SKs, and welcome to your math lesson of the day. Today, we're going to be comparing weight of different objects. But before we do that, we're going to start off with a little math review. So to warm up, we are going to start with our 100 square this morning. Let's make it nice and big so we can see. I am going to dangle my cursor over the numbers as if it was a fly to choose a number. All right, today we're gonna start at 33. Then when I say freeze, we're gonna stop and we're gonna go reverse that. We're gonna count backwards. Are you ready? Starting with 33. 1, 2, 3, go. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. Freeze! Ready? We're gonna reverse, go backwards, starting from 70. Ready, set, go. 70, 69, 68, 67, 66, 65, 64, 63, 62, 61, 60, 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, stop! Awesome job, guys. Okay, now I am going to ask you to look for specific numbers on the 100 square and point to them on your screen. Are you ready? I'll give you 3 seconds to look for the number, and then I'll show you where it was hiding. The first number I want you to point to and find is 26. 26 is hiding right here. Remember, to find these numbers, if you're having difficulty, first try to figure out what number family is it going to be into. So when I say 26, the first part is 20. So you know it's got to be in the 20s, and the 20s always start with 2. So if you go down, you'll see that, no, this can't be the 20s, it's ones. This can't be the 20s, it's the teens, 20s. You'll find where the 20s are, and then once you're in that family, then you can look for the last digit, which was 26. Next number, where is 83? 83. 83 in the 80s family was hiding right here. Next number, 57. 57. 57 in the 50s family, hiding right here. 19. 19. It's a teen number, so it's in the teens family. 19 is here. All right, now I'm gonna be selecting some numbers, and you're gonna have to tell me what the number is. Ready? I'll give you 3 seconds like before. What is this number? The number is 71. What number is this? The number is 67. What number is this? The number is 94. What number is this? The number is 44. Great job, SKs. As always, I very much recommend the site Topmarks. So if you want to take some extra minutes now and do some math review games, I really recommend Topmarks for great games in math and reading as well. Okay, so if you want to take some more review time, go ahead right now and pause my video and come back once you've taken a little bit of time to play some math review games. If you're still with me or if you've pressed play, let's get into our lesson of the day. So today we are going to be talking about the next form of measurement, which is weight. Now, if I were to ask you, what was heavier, an elephant or a chicken? What would you say? Elephant or chicken? I hope you guessed elephant, because I think elephants would definitely be heavier than a chicken. Now, when you were deciding what's heavier, the first thing you want to look at is the size of something. So an elephant certainly is bigger than a chicken. But another thing you want to think about when you're thinking about what's heavier or lighter, when you're thinking about weight, is what is something made of? What is the density like? So for example, if I were to think of this remote control, it's pretty small, but it's actually quite dense, which means that the material that it's made up with is heavy. And so even though it looks small, the density of the object makes it weigh quite a bit. Now, if I were to compare this tiny remote control to a balloon, the balloon might look bigger, but a balloon is full of air, and air weighs practically nothing. So be careful when you're thinking about what weighs more. You're not only thinking about the size, but also about what the thing is made of, which is called density. So let's take a look at our lesson of today, where we are going to be looking at objects and comparing their weights. Your lesson of today should look like this: Tuesday, April 14th, 2020. Now, the first two pictures you see are a rock and a feather. Which of the two do you think is heavier? And why? If you think the rock is heavier, I think you're onto something. And to go about explaining that, you might say, well, the rock feels heavier. The rock is bigger. The rock is made of material that's hard and heavy. Those are all great answers. Whereas the feather is small and the material it's made of is very light. Now, one thing that we're going to be working on today is being able to tell what is heavier using our very own hands. Now, our hands are very powerful tools because they can give you a sense of how heavy something is. So in our next example, we're going to be using our hands to figure out which of these two objects is heavier. Guided problem number 1. Nico helped his teacher put away a marker and a stapler. She asked which one was heavier for him to carry. Measure each object's weight using your hands and write the object that is heavier on the line right here. So it says here, the is heavier. Okay, so in my house right now, I don't have a stapler, but I do have this remote control, which is quite heavy, and it weighs around the same as a stapler would. And I have a marker. So for me to tell which of these two objects is heavier, I'm gonna hold them both in my hand, and I'm gonna wait to see which one feels harder for my arm and hand to keep up. Things that are light are easy to stay in your hands. They don't press down on your hands and want to bring your hand down to the floor. Things that are heavier are putting a force on your hand. They're heavy and it makes your hand feel like it has to go down to the floor because of the weight. So when I'm holding these two things, it's really easy for me to hold this marker. It's not putting any pressure on my hand. That must mean it's light. It's staying up. This remote control, however, it's kind of hard for me to hold and my hand feels like it's getting tired. My hand wants to go down a little bit. So just by using my hands, I would guess that the stapler, or rather the remote control in my case, is the heavier one. I would circle it, and then I would write in the stapler. Stapler. There we go. The stapler is heavier. Those are the two words we're going to be using today. Heavier or lighter. Heavier or lighter. All right. I believe there's one more problem to go through with you. Guided problem number 2. Measure each object's weight using your hands and circle the object that is heavier. Cross off the lighter object. So the two objects in this problem are a pencil and a pair of scissors. Now, I was lucky for this problem because I had these two objects in my home. If ever you can't find the objects in the problem in your house, that's totally okay. You'll just have to rely on your brain a lot to make a good, educated guess. It's like an estimate. An estimate is a smart guess. Okay, so I have the scissors in one hand and the pencil in the other hand, and I'm trying to figure out which object is heavier or lighter. It might even help you to close your eyes. That way you can really focus on what your hands are telling you. This hand here wants to go down. There's a lot of pressure being put on it from the weight of my object. And this arm is fine, it can even go higher. I look and I see that the scissors is the object that's making my hand go lower. It's kind of like a seesaw. If you went on a seesaw with one of your parents would sink down while you would go up. It's the same thing when you use your hands. So I would definitely say that my scissors are the heavier object. I would cross out the pencil and circle my scissors as per the instructions. Okay, now I think you are ready to start your problems. Remember, if you don't have these objects in your house, that's totally fine. You'll just really have to imagine them and try to make an educated guess as to which things are heavier and lighter. Let's read the first one together. Number 1, Aditya has a blue linking cube. Aditya wants to know whether his lunchbox, his journal, or a piece of string is lighter than the blue linking cube. Measure each object's weights using your hands and fill in the circle under the object that is lighter than the linking cube. Okay, so we are looking for the object that is lighter, that weighs less than the linking cube. So if you have these objects in your house, you can go find them and just feel them in your hands to feel which one feels the lightest, or rather lighter than the linking cube. Now remember, just because something is small or short, it doesn't mean it's going to be the lightest. For example, a string could be longer than a linking cube, but you also have to think about what the material is. Some materials are denser and weigh more than other materials. Number 2 is similar. They're asking you to find a pencil and a copybook. Number 3 is asking you to compare a paper clip and a crayon. In number 4, you'll be comparing an eraser and a glue stick. And that concludes your measurement activity for the day. Once you reach this page, it's just a math review. You have addition and subtraction. And on the last page, there's a bit of geometry review. It'll be looking at 3D shapes and 2D shapes and asking you to recall the names of certain geometric figures. All right, SKs, that's all from SI. It's time for you to look around your house and try finding those objects that are listed in the problems and finish off your activity sheet for today. I'll see you later. Take care.